Good morning and welcome to the Economic Show today. And as usual, we will start with a question. And today's question is that, with the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement, will Vietnam be ready for a free and open competition? TPP is a proposal of free trade agreement currently being negotiated between 12 member countries. The part is aimed at deepening economic ties between these nations. It is expected to substantially reduce tariffs and even eliminate them in some cases. It is also expected to boost investment flows, economic growth, foster a closer relationship on economic policies and regulatory issues. Through this summary, we can have a basic knowledge about TPP and the position of Vietnam in TPP. To deeply understand about this agreement, today we invite three guest speakers to this show. First, Ms. Hoàng Thị Huyền Trinh, the CEO of Vietnam Dairy Company. And second, Ms. Nguyễn Đình Thúy Vi, the economic lecturer from FTU. And finally, Mr. Nguyễn Đình Nam, the marketing manager of Vietex Company. We all know that participating in TPP is one of the most significant events of Vietnam in 2016. However, whether it is really necessary for Vietnam, still a very hard question to answer. Therefore, today we have a discussion with three guests about this problem. So first, I would like to ask Mr. Nam. As the marketing manager of Vietex Company, what do you think about TPP? As many media channels say that the garment industry will be the big winner, which see the most benefit from this FTA?
Thank you for that question, Kwar. So I think the first benefit that TPP will definitely bring to Vietnamese industry is that it will help develop import and export industry. Why? How can I do that? Because when we are a member of TPP, the tax is going to be reduced, and in some cases, it's going to be even eliminated. So it's definitely a boost for Vietnamese economy. Vietnamese textiles and garment products have been exported to 180 countries and territories in the world, in which the largest markets are the United States, Europe, and Japan. 60% of Vietnamese garment exports are mostly concentrated in the TPP member countries. However, Vietnamese garment exports are levied with a tax of about 17 or 80%. And the fact is that after Vietnam joins TPP, the tax is going to be gradually reduced to 0%. This is a favorable factor for government enterprises to expand the export market. The amount to be doubled, especially in US market. In addition, it's going to create 50,000 jobs for Vietnam citizens. So that's the example of export. So how about import? So at present, we are using expensive goods because it takes a lot of charges, tax, even tariffs. So in the future, in short, we're going to have higher quality with such a lower price.
So what is your idea, Ms. Vy?
Okay, I totally agree with Mr. Nam. Reducing tax will boost our economy, and through many research as an economic expert, we will see this trend most clearly in the next 2 years. And I also would like to state that participating in TPP will accelerate more foreign investment into Vietnam. The signing of the agreement is expected to be a short-term boost into the Vietnam product market. Vietnam benchmark stock index has risen 4.9% this week, with foreign investors snapping up logistics, industrial park, fishery and garment industry.
I think that's a great perspective. The greatest benefit that I would get as a member of TPP is to find a counterbalance, having enough to rebalance trade relations with key traditional markets and reducing the dependence with certain markets, especially China, which is not a member of TPP.
Well, after hearing our guest speakers sharing their ideas about TPP, we can conclude that TPP is really necessary for Vietnam, especially at this stage when the Vietnam economy has a sign of slowing down after the period of continuous growth. Well, I think TPP is really brilliant because not only does it have to boost the economy, but also it generates a huge advantage in the other fields, such as the labor union, the food safety, and even the internet safety. Well, however, is Vietnam ready for TPP yet? Mr. Nam, can you share with us your thoughts?
Yeah. So like TPP also brings disadvantages as well. So I think what all of us here can agree is that the very first impact that we can clearly see is that it will bring about competition between domestic products and imported goods. You can clearly see in the beef industry right now. So the tax right now for US beef in Vietnamese market is 34%. It's really high. So in upcoming years, the price will be more balanced, and the US beef with high quality, high productivity in manufacturing, very a big competitor for Vietnamese market. And this competition gonna lead to bankruptcy and shortcuts for weak and not so repair enterprises in Vietnam. So surely it will affect our economy a lot.
So what do you think, Ms. V?
Well, I also think like Mr. Nam. Besides tariff elimination, non-tariff barriers can be also disadvantage for Vietnam, especially textile and garment footwear industry. As we may know, perhaps 80 or 90% of Vietnam textile come from other countries, and mostly from China and Taiwan. And TPP negotiators have agreed to accumulate the rule of origin across members. This means the yarns and textile could be produced in any member country. As, with the export of $7.6 billion, Vietnam now is the second largest supplier to American market and compete with other TPP countries like Malaysia, Mexico, Peru. And if we cannot follow this rule, we will be out.
Of course, but we will not forget to mention about the standards of labor and environment. So once TPP has been through, there's come prohibition in the use of children and elimination in the child labors.
Thanks, Vietnam. Personally, I have more concern regarding license issues. For example, a company such as plastic companies may install software such as Microsoft Office to manage their office, warehouse, or anything, and they use the unlicensed software, even if the software can be found anywhere completely, but this is considered violations.
So up to now, I can see that your idea is that Vietnam is not ready yet for the TPP, right?
Yes.
So what is your suggestion?
I think we should raise Vietnam labor standard and improve human rights and set a minimum wage for worker and pass the law for worker to form the unions. And the most important is that Vietnamese citizens have to stop waiting for the government to create impact. Their development has to be nurtured inside each individual.
So I think that is a great one. So Vietnamese citizens had to stop waiting for the government to create an impact. So now, the ready or not ready is not the question. The question is that what do we do to make the best out of TPP? So remember, it starts within you. So thanks for being here with us today, Ms. V, Ms. Jun, and Mr. Nam. And once again, thanks for spending time with us. This is Hua from BBC.